Well, good morning. Another beautiful day that the Lord has made. I shall rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning, dear people. I'm Leonard Robinson, your host for the day, and I'm working on the scene continuously. This is our little scene in works. For those of you who are new, I do this tutorial in a desire to help those who are making their own film and that they like to see someone working on animation in real time. And so that is the purpose of this video. If you are interested in following as I'm working on this, these videos are done in a series, and you can go back onto my channel and you can find these tutorials um, and you can follow them. Um, I don't have numbers on the tutorials. However, you will be able to tell from the dates as to when I did what. Um, this particular series I'm calling Let's Animate. I believe in the future I may do a series where I talk about a particular project and I may put a number on it. So I haven't really figured that out. I can tell you honestly that the Let's Animate series, I believe right now, I think I'm right around 150 um, little films, little shorts here, just so you know. And I believe they all pertain to this particular project. But when I started this, I didn't really know how I wanted to identify the individual videos. However, you should be able to determine what's what just from the dates and the times these things were done. And you may, find yourself that you don't necessarily have to watch every single one, but the fact that they are available to you is there for your benefit, if in fact it does benefit you. So, having said that, we move forward. Nora and Lenny are in the scene here. They're little preschoolers. Well, they're toddlers at this point. And so right now I'm breaking the action down so that I can start to put charts on the actions. And so we're getting, he's propping her up here. And then, he comes down and then he grabs his block and brings it over. And then she puts hers on top. So I want to break this action down here. When he sets her down, I would say maybe he could have a drawing from here to here. So let's see, we'll add a drawing after here. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring this back to fitting the window. It's easier for me if the drawing's a bit bigger where I can see what I'm doing. Okay. All right. So I think maybe what I like to do here is bring her foot down. Yeah, like this. So I want to anticipate that foot down. Okay. Um, yeah. And I'm thinking maybe having her head. Let's see, I'm going to grab her head here and copy, paste. So I'm going to bring her forward here. Let's see. What I kind of want to do is have her come. Yeah, okay. So yeah, let's see. I wonder if I can do no. Let me try this. I think I might be. This might work. I'm going to grab her hand and block and everything here. Okay, and do the same thing. So copy, paste. So I'm going to move this to here. Yeah. So it's going to be like, Boom. If that works. Well, let's see. Let's see, maybe have to pivot this up a little bit, maybe. So it's like she comes up, down. Yeah, it's kind of like, yeah. Okay. So in my head, she's kind of coming, she's bringing this out and down. And then Lenny is coming this way. So what I want to do here, yeah, he's got his hand there. I could, let's see. So, well, I could do this. I'm going to grab his head here and his hand and everything there. Copy, paste. So then bring him. Yeah, he's coming down like that. Let's see. I think what I'm going to do here is, well, let me save this first. Okay. So I'm going to erase the hand because I don't want to have to try to erase it out of the, you know, okay. All right. So it's like he's coming back to there. Okay. So then, let's see. So maybe he's, you know, yeah. Okay. So she's coming back this way. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then his, yeah. Okay. So he's kind of scooting his body back. So maybe, let's see. There was a, yeah. Yeah. I think he would have that button thing, whatever. Yeah. Okay. I gotta establish that. I don't think I established it very well. Let's see. Yeah, so he's scooting back. Yeah. Okay. Mm, oh, oh. So, oh yeah, okay. Well, the block is just standing there, so I'm gonna go copy, paste. Let's see. All right. See, hang on a second here. Yeah. Yeah, that works. Now the timing's not going to be that timing because that would be too slow. But you can see where I'm going with this. Yeah. Yeah, I see what I did. I put some kind of little suspender things on his. So, but I got to carry that through. So, yeah, it needs to be in all of the drawings, but it's not. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. It's funny how you can create something and then you don't keep it consistent for whatever reason. Yes, I don't know. I got to there. I don't know. Suddenly, I got these suspenders on them. It's like, where did that come from? I probably saw it and thought it was a great idea, put it in the drawing, but then I didn't keep it consistent, you know, which is what you got to do. You know, if you create something, you got to keep it consistent from frame to frame. Good stuff starts appearing and disappearing, you know. See, like there, it looks like I've got what's that? Is that a space there? You know, a minute. Yeah, see, these are all really typical things where you create something, but then you don't keep it consistent. So you have to keep going back and looking. Okay, where did I create it, and what do I want it to be? Okay. Well, that's the part where as artists, we're not computers. We don't remember every little thing that we create, so we have to kind of go back and check it. You know, that's normal. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's see. Yeah. So he's come down to here, right, and then he's turns to the block. Okay. So to get from here to here, we need a drawing. So let's save, and let's go back to the full size here. So we're going to go from here to there. So let's add a drawing, a blank drawing. And I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab Lenny's head and turn it. So I'll go copy, go to the blank frame, paste. Then I'm going to flip it this way. And I'm going to set it. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. So what I want to do here is, let's see here. Okay. So I'm going to have him look down where the block is. It's down here. Yeah. And maybe have his hand start. No, it's going to start to go back to where that is. Yeah. Because, when you have an action, you're leading into an action, you can anticipate getting there by having the character start to either look in that direction or lean in that direction, or. So like here, he's seeing that, he's gonna turn, but see, he's still, he still has his hand on Nora, and the block. We could have him. Um, yeah. See, he's well. Hmm, Okay, so he moved back to here. It looks like the block kind of got kicked a little bit. So, um, what would that be? Well, let's see. Well, I could do this. I could go to where the block's gonna, well, hmm. Well, I can do this. I could grab, well, I can grab the block here. Doesn't really matter since it's a big deal. I'll make it a big deal out of it. Let's see, grab the block. Copy, paste. Um, yeah. Let's see. All right. A simple thing like this would make a big deal out of it. Okay, so the block's going to be something like that, I guess. Let's see. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, so he's grabbed it already. Okay. All right. So let's see. Where's Nora? So she's. Hmm, would she? I guess she'd be right there, wouldn't she? Yeah, probably so. Let's see. She's there, or she's there. Hmm. So what do I want to do? I don't want to have her there. I don't want to have her there. Well, I guess I could have her there. So let's see. I can grab here. We'll go copy, go back, and paste. Yeah, I guess that's all right. Let's see. Um, no. Let's see here. Yeah, I guess his head is in front of hers. I guess. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So. Okay. So yeah, he. Yeah, okay. I guess that's right. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Boom. Dum. Yeah, yeah. See, what we're doing here is we're trying to break down all the action. So, so that the next step then would be to put charts on the drawing so we know exactly then how many in betweens we need to have to get from one point to the next. Yeah. Now, one thing I can do at this point is I could immediately start to deal with the exposure here. So let's say right now these drawings are being held um, 8 frames. But one thing that I usually I start out with the lot exposing each drawing longer, primarily so that I can see it on the screen long enough to make a determination as to how the action's working. But at this point now, I could bring this down to 4 frames. So let's say I make each drawing 4 frames long, which will start to address the timing somewhat. Because the way when I play it now, the action, of course, is taking, probably twice as much time to happen as it would normally, you know, which wouldn't be what it would be. Realistically, it would be probably at least half. So now by bringing the drawing exposure down to 4 frames per drawing, that should start to bring a sense of the overall time down to something that's probably a little closer to what it would be. Might not be exact, more than likely it won't be exact, but it'll start to get us in the ballpark. See, when you're doing your animation to start out, I kind of akin doing animation to like spinning pennies. There's a lot of things that you're trying to do. First of all, you're trying to communicate something with the scene, in terms of, um, put that on force, in terms of the overall description of what happens in the scene. Then the next thing is you're trying to, um, connect the drawings so that there's a flow to the scene that feels natural. Then your next thing would be to start to think about the overall time of the scene. Is your scene on the screen the right length of time? Or does it feel, natural? So there's a lot of things to think about at once, and you can't really think about them all at the same time. You kind of have to realistically break those things down into separate actions that you do one at a time. So, so now by just putting this on force, you can see already that just making this faster gives you a little more of a sense of, does that feel like the right amount of time? Um, this is faster. Now, realistically, I could probably go say, well, this last part of the action would be slower. I could say from here to here, I could, make this longer. So let's say I make this 6 frame spaces here at the end to slow this down so that as I'm kind of flipping through it, it feels, maybe closer to what the action might actually be. And even that's not slow enough because, that last part of that action would still be a little bit too fast the way I have it now. So I would have to articulate that a little more. So, that's one of the reasons why I had this on eights. So I'm going to kind of take it back up to eights. Yeah. So I'm going to take these last frames. I'm going to keep them at eights and tens. I think I have this one at 10 frames. And I think I probably have this one at 10 frames. So we'll save that. So yeah. Yeah. Because see, at this point, we're just trying to figure out the overall sense of how it flows. All right, folks. Well, we'll stop here today at this point. So anyway, hey, don't forget to thank God for your talents and gifts each day. Thank God for the breath in your body and the life you enjoy. He is a good God. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. Don't forget, Jesus is Lord.